Uh-oh, Stellar Blade has been region locked? What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So the PC version of Stellar Blade is finally up for pre-sale on Steam and Epic Games. This has been over a year in the making, and as much as I want to celebrate the good news, Sony is out there doing Sony things, and they've apparently region locked the game on Steam. This is a full list of 132 countries where Stellar Blade is unavailable for purchase on PC, and it's left a lot of players scratching their heads asking, why? The developers themselves don't seem to know what's going on. Shift Up spent a good chunk of the day responding to tweets asking why the game is locked in their region, and they're trying to get to the bottom of it. There's also an issue with Denuvo that has players concerned about performance. It's kind of a mess right now, so we'll go into everything that's happening. Do me a favor and spank that thumbs up button for me, and consider subscribing. We're on a quest to reach 150,000 subscribers, and we are close, baby. Let's actually start on a high note. I've got some excellent news here. Stellar Blade's official account tweeted out a couple of charts showing off the recommended specs and some frame rate data for the PC players, but they also confirmed a few key details about the PC version. They said, "We are closely discussing the region lock issue with the publisher, Sony, and are doing our best to resolve most of it as soon as possible. As shown in the test chart below, the DRM has been hard-tuned to maintain the same average frame rate, with even higher minimum frames in some cases. Mods are fully supported without any restrictions. PSN connecting is entirely optional and never required. Both the PC and PS5 versions offer the same content. We will make sure that early buyers are never at a disadvantage through future updates." So right away, some incredible takeaways from this. Not that there was any doubt in the first place, but mods being fully supported is music to my ears. I know you degenerates are going to mine those assets and make some incredible mods for this game. I can't wait to see what you all come up with. The connection to PlayStation Network being optional is also huge, and I think it's actually playing a role in why the game was region locked in the first place, so we'll come back to that. That last line about both PC and PS5 versions getting the exact same content should put a lot of minds at ease. There was some confusion about which versions would be getting what content, so rest assured, nobody's missing out on anything. The transparency here is really appreciated, and it's good to know they're working on the region locking issue. Let's actually get into that. Why was Stellar Blade region locked to begin with? Why do any games get region locked? We actually had the same thing happen around this time last year with Helldivers 2. Some of you might remember this, and this is a perfect example. Sony is the publisher of both games, both Helldivers 2 and Stellar Blade. And with Helldivers, they were trying to make it mandatory to have a PlayStation Network account linked up with Steam so you could play Helldivers on PC, and it resulted in major backlash from the player base. Sony is a huge company, but it can't conduct business the same way everywhere. Every country has its own laws and tax laws and regulations. That's why we have things like Sony US, Sony Japan, Sony EU, because they each have to follow the specific rules of their respective territory. With Helldivers 2, when Sony tried to make a linked PSN account mandatory, that basically cut off an enormous number of players who can't get PSN in their region. If the link is mandatory, but the service doesn't exist there, you can't play the game there. The game ended up getting delisted from the Steam store in those regions. To this day, you still can't purchase Helldivers 2 there. And a very similar thing is now happening with Stellar Blade. Similar, but not the same. By all accounts, this appears to be an accident. We don't know for a fact, and the truth might come out later, but the best answer for why it happened is that this list of countries are all places where PSN is not available. So here's the line of thought. Stellar Blade needs a linked PSN account. If PSN doesn't exist in those countries, you can't get Stellar Blade in those countries. Makes sense. The issue is that Stellar Blade, as we've already talked about, does not require a linked PSN account to play. The devs just confirmed it, that it's not necessary. The option is there though, because this is how you redeem one of the exclusive outfits for linking your accounts, and I think this is the problem. Just the fact the option exists, it's enough for Steam's system to flag it and say, there's no PSN in these territories, so this game is region locked from these territories. It has nothing to do with the developers at Shift Up. It 100% comes back on Sony. They're the ones who need to figure this out and remove that region lock. How they go about doing that, I have no idea. I don't even know if this linked account is the reason for this, but it seems to be the most likely answer right now. The other topic that's really overshadowing Stellar Blade's PC launch is the fact that the game is using de novo anti-piracy software, and a lot of players are having an issue with that. I'm extremely ignorant when it comes to PC gaming. I'm a PlayStation 5 Sony pleb, so from what I understand, de novo prevents piracy, but it also allegedly destroys your CPU, and it just throttles a game's performance and makes it run like crap. This is the issue that players are having with the fact it's even there. The conversation has become about how Stellar Blade is going to perform while it has de novo, and there's a lot of players saying that they're not going to pick this game up as long as it has it. I can't speak on it since I have no personal experience, but there does seem to be a unanimous consensus that de novo is just awful for a game's performance. It sucks that something that's designed to protect the product ends up being something of an Achilles heel for it. This is actually a harder issue to fix than the region locking, because at least with the region locking, that seems to be an accident that they're actively trying to fix, but this is deliberate. And I can almost guarantee you this was a mandatory step from Sony. They needed Shift Up to use de novo, probably as part of their contract. I'm not too sure what they can do to fix this other than just getting rid of de novo and replacing it with either a different form of anti-piracy software or just rolling without the software in general. Like, what's worse, turning away a large percentage of potential players because they don't like de novo, or risking pirated copies of your game floating out there? I'm not a dev, I can't answer that, I'm just thinking out loud. At the end of the day, all of these issues that are plaguing Stellar Blade's PC release is coming back on Sony. And props to Shift Up for rolling with the punches. It's not all doom and gloom though. Stellar Blade is apparently sitting at number 2 in global pre-sales on Steam, which is huge for a game that's technically a year old, even though it's new to the platform. The hype is building more and more every day, and I think the game is going to have a very strong launch on PC. It just sucks hearing that players are upset about everything surrounding the game's launch. It's not even any complaints about the game itself, which I think is a testament to both it and the devs. It's really just optics that are the issue right now, and I think they can take some steps to fix this. The region locking I expect will be resolved, but the de novo thing, probably not. I honestly can't see them taking de novo off just because of either contractual obligations or just instructions from higher up. Publishers take piracy very seriously, and I know that they're going to want to try to prevent it as much as possible, so I can't see them taking de novo off, which sucks for a lot of people who've kind of made up their mind that if de novo is involved, they're not going to get the product. Who knows, we might be pleasantly surprised, and maybe they'll replace it with some other anti-piracy software. Only time will tell. But guys, that's really all I wanted to talk about, just the de novo thing and the region locking, because it is the hot topic that's sort of overshadowing the release of the PC version. If you guys enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate the thumbs up. That will tell YouTube's algorithm that my content is good, and I am worthy of the 150,000 subscriber goal I am on. I hope you consider subscribing and joining the ranks yourself. But guys, that's going to be all from me. This has been Star. Stay stellar. Keep shining, baby.